Cities and towns in the Central Valley are being hit hard by the struggling international economy.
Tonight we continue our special assignment, Hard Times. Joe Paniker takes us to Mendota, where there's a sense of hope even though unemployment is staggering.
Mendota is truly a town in crisis. Listen to this. They have a 40% unemployment rate. Right now, town officials are hoping for a miracle, and you'll soon find out that miracle is in the form of H2O. Welcome to Mendota, the cantaloupe center of the world. Population going on 9,000. It's a small town. Most here speak Spanish. It's hard to imagine with pictures like this. Sheep grazing, farmland as far as the eye can see, that this city is ground zero of economic turmoil.
Mendota is going through the worst economic times that in the history of this community.
Nowadays, just about every town, city, and state fits that bill. Even the nation, as credit markets tighten, foreclosures go up, and businesses struggle. The president and lawmakers are banking on bailout plans. Residents here can only hope those big plans have the little city of Mendota in mind. Meet Mayor Robert Silva. He runs this grocery store and the city.
Economics is so bad right now, it's the worst. We've got the highest unemployment here in Fresno County.
County, state, possibly even the country. 3 or 4 times the national average. The unemployment rate here is a staggering 40%, largely because 8 out of 10 people in Mendota are tied to agriculture. And the problem here is water, or lack of it.
So this is a drip irrigation line that delivers water directly to this pomegranate plant. And it is only delivering the amount of water that this plant needs. And as you can see, if it doesn't get water in the upcoming year, it will not be able to survive. And this is a new orchard of pomegranates and a huge capital investment for this grower.
Sarah Wolf works with Westland's Water District. This year, she says farmers will have to rely on groundwater because the Delta is facing environmental regulations and the state's facing a 3-year drought. Essentially, if there's no water, there are no crops. And if there are no crops, farmers lose out.
They feel it first when the drought happens or when there's any kind of issue related to water supply. They are immediately impacted.
No water means 400,000 acres of farmland will not be farmed.
Mexico, California.
This is all supposed to be local produce, but with no water, produce is coming from outside the U.S. Yeah, even their homegrown broccoli. Silva says get used to it and get used to higher prices at your grocery store. And it's not just Mendota farmers who are hurting. Other businesses are too. At Ramon's shop, these service trucks are just sitting in the parking lot. Normally, they're out helping farmers.
If they're not running, they don't get flat tires or they don't need tires. So normally we get service calls about 6, 7 a day, but we haven't had a service car in about 3 weeks, so that's kind of affecting us in a lot of ways.
Back at the store, these items on the shelves are being closely monitored as vandalism goes up. Cars and houses are being broken into. The mayor says people are getting desperate, and we saw it firsthand about 4 blocks away. The EOC and a local group are bringing food to the area. There are roughly 1,000 people in line. Mayor Silva joined us.
This is like the Depression. You know, this is the lines of the Depression, and I've said it many times. Where's the federal government at times like this?
Residents signed their names, took a box, and volunteers handed out tomatoes, apples, even these local oranges, anything to help.
They will take anything to put food on the table. They will stand in line for 3-4 hours. They don't care. As long as they get something.
This is the 3rd food giveaway in 3 weeks, a sign that residents here are struggling. With no jobs, there's no money and no food.
Normally they're out there tying vines or working in the almonds, but right now there's absolutely nothing out there.
With every person, the story is almost the same. Here, the mayor's asking, why aren't you working?
There's no water. We don't know if they're going to release any water. They are going to let us know sometime in March.
Farming here in Mendota is at a standstill. With no outside water, these current crops may survive. It's 50-50. But there's hope. These food giveaways have been a blessing, and there is some potential for job growth with a new prison coming to town. The mayor says it's hard to be proactive when you spend all your time being reactive. So while the country suffers, so does one of its biggest agricultural engines, right here in Little Mendota. Next week, we head north to Mariposa. That economy is very dependent on tourism. Next Thursday at 6 p.m., find out what town officials are doing to combat a tough economy.
Thanks, Joe.